Well, what do you do when the referees decide to take over in the fourth quarter? Who knows, man? The Indiana Fever lost game one by 12 on the Dreams home court in the first quarter. Looks like they got off to a really good start. The team was playing with a lot of energy. Seems like there was a lot of energy, just like just faster to the ball, finishing in transition. Jumped out to a small lead, and then all of a sudden, terrible calls started coming in with reviews that Stephanie White had to burn her challenges on, and the overall momentum of the game just started going in the other direction. And the Dream chipped away, and then from the second quarter on, it pretty much was the Dream's game. I remember looking up in the third quarter, and I think it was maybe like the end of the third quarter, and they might have had like 51 points at the time, meaning Fever. And I'm like, yo, they've only scored 30 points total since the first quarter. And from there, Alicia Gray was just charging to the rim every time, throwing up these off balance layups that just dropped every time. Naz Hillman hitting threes as they're talking about it, on the commentary stuff. Brianna Jones just barging through everybody, just being a big bull in the middle. Ryan Howard, dropped 20, and the only person offensively who really showed up was Kelsey Mitchell. And if it's just Kelsey Mitchell just by herself, nothing's going to happen. Aaliyah Boston plays 33 minutes, stuck in foul trouble, only ends with 8 points, but she only had 4 points for the longest time. This team is, fighting uphill. You got to fight against the injuries. You got to fight against the referees. You got to fight against, pretty much everything. Stephanie White's getting teched out here, and, just very disappointing for the Fever, who seemed to have somewhat of a shot at the beginning of the game. And it goes back to game two at Gamebridge, pretty much for the season at this point. And, I would just love for the Fever just to defend their home court with pride. And we'll see if that can happen. But man, just watching this league has to do something about the refereeing. It is so bad. And it wasn't even like all bad on the Fever side. The Dream were getting hosed on calls too. And, Caitlin was doing the de-escalation committee on Stephanie White. Odyssey Sims getting teched, and man, it just didn't go the way that I thought it could have gone for the Fever. The offense is just like really limited and struggling to really produce right now. And the games that it doesn't go well for the Fever, it's almost completely understandable, because like it's been a mash unit. And on the other side, you do have two all-stars, right? Still left in Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell. One of them played like it. The other one, 4 points. And Aaliyah Boston's got to be better if the Fever want any chance of winning, of just being competitive, having pride. Essentially, it's very tough to look at this team who has so many injured players that they could not fit them all on the bench and just feel like you really have a shot. It's got to be demoralizing, to really play on that team, to be like, damn, we're just so outnumbered, outmanned, and then the referees are just not giving you anything. It's really bad to think about. And seeing that yesterday, it just made me think, damn, if the entire team was healthy, I think they would have blown the Atlanta Dreams door off. I think they would have gone into game two in a better position, obviously, to win the series and get that elusive home game that they didn't get last year. And everything now just is almost over. And that just really stinks on a lot of levels. Um, you know, if there's been one thing about this team, though, this year, that I can say, back against the wall. They go into a tough situation. You write them off. They show back up. So I'm not going to write them off in game two. Game two is a game that I think a lot of people in the building, they're going to show this team a lot of love, a lot of appreciation, and they are going to cheer their hearts out for this team that pretty much got this entire season stolen from them. I would anticipate the Indiana fans, standing up, showing the team love, getting on the referees, and being rowdy and hype and thinking that, some got away this year. That's what it feels like, at least in my estimation. And next year, when everyone's back healthy, it's going to be a different story. I'm pretty positive of that. And this just like made me feel like just absolute frustration watching in the third quarter as the game essentially just got taken over by the referees. And every 7-0 run that the Fever would put together, it would be answered by a 7-0 run. So they were just constantly just fighting uphill. Couldn't really do anything about it. And, just pure frustration on, just watching it as a fan and feeling like, they're not they're not the team that we want them to be. Like they're playing handicap essentially. Like they should be just in full transition. It should be a bunch of 3-pointers. It should be just good shots everywhere, and then they're stuck dumping the ball to Natasha Howard. They're stuck just on the edge of the 3-point line shooting long twos. And it's just like, this is not the experience that we thought we were getting. So, game two is Tuesday night, and we'll see how it goes. But Aaliyah Boston has got to score more than 4 points. I'm sorry, it can't happen again. Lexi Hull, 35 minutes, she did okay, but the shooting is very bad right now. 3 of 13. That's not gonna get it done. 1 of 5 from 3. Team only hit 2 3-pointers throughout the game. That's also not gonna get it done, especially against a Carlos Mesco team. They're gonna bomb away from the 3-point line. Ryan Howard herself went 4 of 10. Naz Hillman, as I mentioned, hit 2 of them. Alicia Gray hit 1. And this just felt like a preordained result in some some estimates. But I don't know. What'd you guys think of the game? And we'll be back on the channel talking about some other stuff today. Just wanted to talk to you guys about my thoughts on the game and everything like that, because this freaking sucks. So I'll holler at you guys next time. Peace. One lifetime.